In this lesson, we're going to take a look at Chapter 5, Lesson 3, which is comparing and ordering integers. Remember, an integer is a positive whole number, their opposite, or 0. So let's take a look at the top. Since we compare integers, you can compare the signs as well as the magnitude or size, so magnitude means size, of the numbers. Greater numbers are graphed farther to the right. So we're going to be able to compare signs. So if you compare signs, positive numbers are greater than negative numbers. And compare the position on the number line. So fill the blank with less than, greater than, or equal to make a sentence true. So we have 10 to negative 4. And if we look at that right away, if we compare the signs, we know that 10 is greater than negative 4. But if you ever have any doubts, you're just going to come over here and put the dots on a line. So 10 is graphed at 10 and negative 4 is over here. Since 10 is farther to the right, that number is greater. So 10 is greater than negative 4. Let's go ahead and put another number line on here. We're going to draw it. And we're going to be doing negative 3 is what to negative 5. In this case, they both have negative signs, so we can't compare the signs. In cases where we can't compare the signs and you can't tell, we're going to put it on the number line. So I'm going to have 0. I'm not going to worry about the positive side because those are all negative. Then we have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, and negative 5. So I'm going to put my dot at negative 3 and at negative 5. Because 3 is farther to the right-hand side than negative 5, negative 3 is greater than negative 5. Let's come over here up at the top. We're looking at negative 5 and 0. So if we graph these, we have negative 5 and 0. We didn't really need to graph them either because we knew we compared the signs and there's a negative sign. So that means that has to be less than. We're going to come back over here. We're going to do one more. And we're going to do negative 4 is what to negative 5. So we'll draw our number line. We need to get to negative 5. So negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, and 0. We put our negative 4 on, and then negative 5. Negative 4 is farther to the right-hand side, so it is larger than negative 5. So the farther you are away from 0, the smaller your number you are. It's like when you take too much money out of your bank account and you go in negative numbers. The farther you're in debt, the less money that you have. So that's how you can do comparing with numbers. Now we're going to order them. So we're going to put them in order from least to greatest on this first one. So some of you might be able to look at it and know negative 9, negative 3, 0, then 6. If you can't, you need to draw your number line, and let's go ahead and put on the number line to see what it is. So we have negative 9, 6, negative 3, and 0. So if we look from left to right, because we're going from least to greatest, we have negative 9, negative 3, 0, and 6, just like I wrote up here. Okay, we're going to go from least to greatest again on this one. So let's put it on the number line first. We have 10, negative 1, 5, and negative 8. So it goes negative 8, negative 1, 5, and 10. Now, all the time you don't have to use a number line, so if you can compare the signs. So the smallest numbers are going to have a negative sign in it. Negative 8 is farther away from 0 than negative 1, so we're going to start with negative 8 because that means you're in more debt than you are if you just had negative 1. And then when we get to the positive side, it's pretty easy. So negative 8, negative 1, 5, and 10. And that's all that lesson is about.